Hey, what's happening everybody? Rod J back again. Thanks for swinging by to check out another video. Doing something a little bit different here tonight. I'm actually sitting back enjoying my Brooklyn Oktoberfest here. And I had a friend ask me about understanding some of the beer ratings that take place when he goes to look at certain beers. He sees different things that pop up, sometimes with numbers that may be a little bit vague as far as how that beer may have been rated. Obviously, he knows if it's a high number, it's usually a better type beer. But he was just curious, and I said, well, there's different things that actually go into beer ratings. And I thought maybe I'd just do a quick video to kind of hit on that as well, for those of you not familiar with it. So, depending on what system you're actually looking at, there's various ways that people rate beer. The big thing is, unless you really know a lot of that system on how the beer is actually rated, it's going to make it a little bit more maybe cloudy on you understanding how they came up with that score. So, for instance, under the Beer Judge Certification Program, they actually have a sheet that when they go through different beer events, which is kind of, I'm holding up right here. And on this sheet, they will look at things from aroma, appearance, flavor, palate, and an overall score. This is how the sheet used to be, and this actually changed somewhere back around 2012. But what they would actually do is they would rate out aroma from a score from 1 to 10, appearance also from 1 to 5, flavor 1 to 10, palate 1 to 5, and then an overall score on how that beer actually produced an overall package. Total all those numbers up, and their rating actually went to 50. And it still is at 50, but just recently they kind of adjusted that as well, where now they look at aroma from 1 to 12, mouthfeel from 1 to 5, appearance from 1 to 3, overall 1 to 10, and flavor 1 to 20. So they still keep the 50-point scale, but they kind of shifted it. At this point, you have more of a weighting based on flavor, where previously it was based on how the overall package may be. And that's where you get into some of the discrepancies that take place between some of the scores. That's using a 50-point scale. Some people like to use a 100-point scale, and one of the ways that actually breaks down is people will assign something to aroma, which one system has 24 points for that, appearance up to 6 points, flavor up to 40, mouthfeel up to 10, and overall impression up to 20. So a total of 100, again, heavily weighted towards flavor on that one as well. Then you have some people that just keep it simple, 1 to 5, and then also A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, F type situation. The big thing is, when you're looking at beer ratings, sometimes it's kind of deceiving on who ended up with what and how that score was actually tabulated, unless you know the actual formula that takes place. So in that regard, sometimes you don't want to put everything fully into the weighting. If somebody just happens to guess at a beer, it may be a good beer, it may not be as great a beer, unless they're kind of more indicate some of the other things that are taking place kind of in that judgment. It's just one of those things that are out there, and I've done it, a lot of people have done it, where you go through, you know how a beer is supposed to taste, but you give it a score, and then no one else really knows what that score possibly may mean. The big thing is, though, you want to find someone that might be consistent in what you like in your beers, and if they're giving a certain amount of scores and you're always favoring them, then that might be one for you to follow, because chances are you may have a similar palate. So that's just a kind of a quick look at how beers are rated, and how much emphasis you may want to put into that is totally up to you, but just thought I'd share a little bit of information. With that being said, I say cheers. I look forward to catching you next time. Hopefully you found this to be a little bit educational. Cheers.